Luckily, LSU Tigers just added to their 2025 recruiting class. By the way, this looks like it's going to be Brian Kelly's best recruiting class of his tenure at LSU thus far. It should be a top 5 recruiting class, but maybe even into the top 3. Definitely potential there. Everyone in that top 5 has potential to be number 1. So Jacob Bradford, 3-star recruit on some sites, 4-star on others. I use 24/7 composite. That's a little bit of all of them. So that's kind of why I have him as a 4-star, because on a composite, he's a 4-star. So Jacob Bradford, another cornerback for this class. Obviously, this 2025 class highlighted by DJ Pickett for your cornerback, but obviously most importantly, Bryce Underwood. And right now, he's still committed at LSU. Number 1 overall recruit on, I believe, every site. So huge quarterback recruit there, and talent, as well as a couple other wide receivers there. This is a very strong class at pretty much all elements of the football for the Tigers. Now, if you've been watching LSU over the past few seasons under Brian Kelly, cornerback has kind of been a question mark. This year, they've obviously been a little bit better. Safety, still a question mark for LSU. No, a lot of fans actually have an issue with Major Burns and Gilbert, as they haven't been living up to the potential. I'm a Georgia fan. I remember Major Burns. He had a lot of potential at UGA. Didn't really see the field much. And I kind of do believe he would be a starter for UGA over Dan Jackson right now. But no offense towards Dan Jackson. I mean, just Major Burns has the talent there and potential. Just hasn't been living up to it for LSU for whatsoever. But yeah, adding depth to this obviously elite overall 2025 recruiting class for the Tigers. And I do believe he committed yesterday, which obviously was a big day for LSU, as they took down Ole Miss, who was a top 10 team. Lane Kiffin was hungry for that win, just couldn't do it, as Brian Kelly protects that really good home record. And I do believe Bradford was committed before the game. I thought so. Could be wrong on that. But again, just looking through LSU's 2025 class, things could change. You still got a couple months left. But with how the landscape of college football and recruiting has been going on, it seems like you're going to see a lot more commits now, and really early on in the summer than you do towards the end of the cycle. And with the NIL, LSU's NIL collective is probably the best in college football, or at least top 3. You got Texas and Oregon up there, as well as Ohio State. Ohio State's NIL collective this season, or this past recruiting class, was ridiculous. Something in the millions there. A lot of people say it was a joke, or it's just speculation. I do believe there's a lot of truth to that, but LSU's NIL collective is as good as anywhere else in college football. So yeah, Brian Kelly looks like he's going to add to a very, very elite overall recruiting class as of right now on 24/7, number 4th overall. However, in composite, it's ranked 4th as well. So like I said, all those teams in that top 5, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and LSU, they have a good shot at getting to number 1. But a lot could change with NIL and transfer portal deals and all that. Things could change, but I still believe LSU, this is going to be Brian Kelly's best overall class in his tenure at LSU. So, and like I covered earlier, LSU's kind of had some issues with cornerbacks over the past few years. They bring in a couple this past season from the portal, and they started to step it up. It looks like safety has kind of been the issue for LSU this year, more importantly than cornerback. But LSU is DBU, and I think that, at least. I know LSU fans will agree with me on that. If you ask Texas, Ohio State, or even Bama fans, they will laugh at your face and tell you they're a DBU. But in my total opinion, LSU is DBU. They put in more elite prospects into the NFL draft, as well as they've had a lot of elite prospects over the past few years. Not really his past few seasons with Brian Kelly, as quarterback, like I said, has kind of been the issue. But if you've been looking at the trends for LSU's football, and mainly the recruiting starting to go up for Brian Kelly, I believe last year you were 8th overall, or maybe 9th, something like that. probably, or maybe you're in the top 5, somewhere around that. But LSU is still getting that elite talent. The roster looks a lot better now than what it did before, with Coach O's little fiasco there towards the end of his tenure at LSU, and Brian Kelly. He's starting to make a good move in the recruiting. A lot of that is due to the NIL, and because LSU does recruit itself, to be honest with you. A lot of people want to play there. I also personally believe LSU probably has the best facilities in college football. I mean, just look how much money they poured into that. Every team has done that too, but just to say the least, you got everything going right. Everything's trending up for a team like LSU. If you're looking at more teams in the SEC, could Bama be trending down? Potentially. Tennessee has been trending up, but could they have peaked? Potentially. I'm a Georgia fan. Has Georgia peaked? Potentially. We don't know these answers yet. We'll know them down the line, and that could obviously have a huge impact on LSU. But if you're an LSU fan, the goal is not to go 9-3 every single season. And if we're being real here with that loss to USC, 9-3 is more likely than 10-2 or even 11-1. However, it is more likely than 7-5 for all those people that actually hate on LSU or whatever, thinking they're a bad team. But no, LSU, I think, is probably going to be circling around 9-3, maybe 10-2. They're going to have to pull another upset. Obviously, you get Alabama at home. But yeah, with things trending up with LSU and Brian Kelly, another good addition to the recruiting class. Make sure you guys like and subscribe here on the LSU football channel at the voice of college football.